Like most of you guys, I'm looking forward to the new standalone game in the Borderlands series, Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. And like most of you guys, I'm eager to see what new crazy weapons and gear that the game will introduce. But it wouldn't be a Borderlands franchise game without some of the classic weapons making a return. These are my top 10 pieces of gear to bring back in Wonderlands.
And number 10 is...
At number 10, the Skullmasher. This gun has now appeared in every Borderlands game, including Tales from the Borderlands. To me, this gun is almost like the poster child weapon for the series. It's a traditional looking sniper that has a shotgun type multi-pellet ability. It kind of sort of emphasizes what Borderlands is. It might look normal on the surface at times, but this game is wild and fun as hell. Popping heads up close or even using this gun as a hipfire weapon from 3 feet away, the Skullmasher has been absolutely amazing in every Borderlands game to date, and it would honestly be silly to not include this gun again in Wonderlands.
Number 9!
At number 9, the Soul Render. Now hear me out on this one. This Borderlands 3 weapon shoots bullets and launches homing skulls that do 20 times the base damage listed on the card. This gun is one of my all-time favorites in the entire franchise, and not just because it helps aim for me. Well, I mean, that's part of it, but honestly, the skulls flying around feels like a good fit for Wonderlands.
Number 8!
At number 8, the Sham. The Sham was introduced in Borderlands 2 and then it appeared again in the pre-sequel, capping out at a maximum of 94% absorption rate. The Sham had a very specific usage: keep enemy bullets from hitting you and turn them into ammo that you can then use. The Sham was also great for rocket jumping, allowing you to rocket your own feet with a low-level launcher like a Bada Boom without blowing yourself up. The bonus to bringing back the Sham is that hunting for the 94% variant was extremely challenging, requiring you to get the perfect set of parts to make it happen.
Number 7!
At number 7, the Bitch. This spot was a toss-up for me between the Bitch and the Ogre, as both have appeared in every single game, except in the pre-sequel the Bitch was called the Fatale and the Ogre sat that one out. The Bitch is a high fire rate Hyperion SMG that does amazing crit damage and gets more accurate the longer you shoot it. Now in Borderlands 3 the Bitch was a bit disappointing, but with a little TLC I'd love to see it return in Wonderlands, maybe as a drop from some sort of witch character, and maybe even call it the Fatale again, since this is a game where Tiny Tina is narrating it and she's a teenager.
And now for number 6!
At number 6, the Rapier. This Borderlands 2 weapon feels tailor-made for Wonderlands, a bladed assault rifle capable of massive melee damage. If we get a more traditional melee capable type of build in Wonderlands, it would be awesome to have a gun like this where you can shoot and stab so seamlessly. The Rapier remains one of the best melee weapons in Borderlands history.
And here we are at number 5!
At number 5, the Hellfire, another returning classic. The Hellfire has appeared in every Borderlands game to date, and up until Borderlands 3, it was pretty damned amazing in every game. For some strange reason, they changed the manufacturer to dull in Borderlands 3, defying all logic. Sadly, in Borderlands 3, it's one of the worst overall legendary items in the game, so to give it some redemption, I would love to see it return in Wonderlands as a Maliwan and be back to its old glory.
Moving on to number 4!
At number 4, the Crit. This gun is one of those items that feels perfectly suited to the D&D style of Wonderlands. When you reload, there's a chance that you can drop this gun, but the trade-off is how good the weapon is and how it steals health for you while doing damage. It was arguably a bit too easy to obtain in Borderlands 3 and maybe even a bit too strong, so perhaps lock it behind a tougher challenge in Wonderlands.
And now we're down to number 3!
At number 3, the Sword Explosion. A gun from Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keep is almost a no-brainer to bring back into Wonderlands. The Sword Explosion is a fan favorite. A gun that shoots swords and does explosive splash damage. I would love to see this gun return, maybe even with melee damage added to the swords, but that might be a bit too strong. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Either way, the Sword Explosion feels like a perfect fit for this game.
And here we are at number 2!
Coming in at number 2, pearlescent weapons in general. At least the classics like the Nemesis and Bessie from Borderlands 1. Then also bring back the Becca and the Butcher from Borderlands 2 but as pearlescents, but introduce some new ones. Bring back the concept of shields, or wards as they're going to be called in Wonderlands, having a pearlescent option. Something we can chase at endgame, but make them ridiculously rare like they were in Borderlands 1. That's something that was sorely missed in Borderlands 3, a higher rarity to hunt. But for the love of all things holy, make them good, like really good. Borderlands 2 nearly killed the concept of pearlescence and is probably why they didn't return in Borderlands 3. The scaling in ultimate mode on Borderlands 2 rendered most pearlescence completely irrelevant, and that's at the point in the game where you actually get pearls. So as long as they're balanced properly, pearlescence need to return in Wonderlands.
Honorable mention.
I have a bunch of honorable mentions, so I'll go through this as quick as possible. The Cobra sniper rifle, seeing as how it had a Tiny Tina skin on the gun, bringing back the Cobra as an extremely rare drop would be awesome. For that matter, all of the Tiny Tina weapons from Borderlands 2 could be fun. The Teapot, Boom Puppy, and the Bunny. But I would also love to see the Gub and the Linoge return as subtle homages to certain Borderlands players who seem to be cursed to find them repeatedly. Bonus honorable mention goes to the Ogre. Only missing from one game in the series, the Ogre also has the added advantage of sounding like it belongs in Wonderlands. A few other honorable mentions go to the Hellwalker, the Maggie, the Pimpernel, the Shred-of-Fire, and the Hail. And I have to mention the Magic Missile and Chain Lightning and other grenades, like even the Gassed Call from Borderlands 3, but since grenades are being replaced by spells, I'm hoping that these make the cut as some sort of new spell.
And finally, here we are at number 1.
Finally, coming in at number 1, the Excalibur. This is the gun that made me start this list. As seen in this promo piece for Wonderlands, it would seem that the Excalibur from Borderlands, the pre-sequel, is returning as a sword in the stone concept. Hopefully it actually appears like this in the game too, because that would be amazing to find this thing out in the middle of nowhere. A bladed shotgun, golden skin, just absolutely looking perfect. For those that never played the pre-sequel, the Excalibur is a much beloved weapon because it had a 100% chance to freeze enemies on critical hits, and then those frozen enemies took bonus melee damage, making this a fun as hell wombo combo weapon, and it would be absolutely perfect in Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. So that's my list of items I'd love to see return in Wonderlands. Let me know down in the comment section below what items you would like to see return. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified whenever I post new videos. Thank you guys for watching. Take care.